What is crack-a-lackin', everybody? Like the young kids still say. They still say that, right? Probably not. I don't know. Welcome to the Snug Wrestling Podcast. My name is Edgar. I'm the host. It is Friday night SmackDown before WrestleMania, less than 24 hours away from WrestleMania weekend. This episode of SmackDown was also in Las Vegas, not that far away from the Allegiant Stadium. And we're going to go over everything that went down tonight. Did it make you want to watch WrestleMania even more? Maybe, maybe not. We will see what the Snug Crew thinks. We're all here tonight, Mr. Blood, Tommy, and Toxic. Welcome, fellas. We are here. How y'all feeling? Y'all ready for this weekend?
Yeah, definitely ready for this weekend. But I got to be honest, if tonight was anything to go by, I sure fucking hope the crowd tomorrow and Sunday is a lot better than they were in Vegas tonight. Because tonight, crowd was fucking terrible. I mean, Jacob Fatu's promo being a standout, awkward part where he's really trying to engage him, and they're just fucking crickets. Randy Orton, they're quiet through most of it. They react to certain things. It's just so dead in there. And I'm like, dude, it's WrestleMania weekend in your city. Like, why are you not more hyped? This crowd was ass. But it's also not entirely just the crowd's fault. The show itself might be one of the most boring go-home shows I've seen in the last couple of years. It was extremely nothing. Raw was a much better go-home show, even though that still didn't feel like a go-home show. And if that didn't, this definitely didn't. I swear, man, like, they got to fix these go-home shows, man. I mean, this is for Wrestle-fucking-Mania we're talking about here. And the whole time, I'm just bored through almost every freaking segment. Some of the segment shit was cringe as fuck. Looking at you, Trick Williams. I don't know, man. They gotta change up what they're doing for this shit, really.
I'm doing good. The show it was a show. I don't exactly know what to say because there were certain parts of it that were okay to me. There were certain parts that were good, like really good decisions, and some parts that are like, why the fuck did we even get this here? So, um, I'm even more. Not even after the SmackDown. I'm just excited for WrestleMania in general because it's WrestleMania, the biggest show of the year. It's basically like the Super Bowl for WWE fans. Just I'm ready for it. Um, and I'm ready to have a good night, even no matter you have one.
The show itself was iffy. Like Blood said, Monday felt more like an actual go-home show for WrestleMania than tonight did. Plain and simple on that. But it is currently storming here in Illinois. Welcome to weather. It is bipolar as all hell. We just finished off like 15 minutes ago as of recording this with a tornado warning. So that's a thing that happens. But overall, that's just how today has gone. And SmackDown was SmackDown. The OCD in me is going insane at the fact that tonight they did not even out this damn card. So we're looking at 7 matches on Saturday and 6 matches on Sunday. So my brain is going like, even it out, add another one. But clearly it is unfortunately too late for that.
Way to bring the positivity, fellas. No, I'm just kidding. No, you guys are right, man. Shout out to Soto619 on the comments on IG says, bro, that ending was so bad. Yeah, we'll talk about that when we get there. But nah, man, we kind of talked about this on Monday Night Raw because I was there on Monday and I told you guys, man, it was just a lot of fucking talking and setting up matches, which, okay, you have to set up the matches because it's the go home show for WrestleMania, right? But also at the same time, like, you guys, they got to give us something, right? It just felt like they're just there to make the town and just do the bare minimum because we just have to get to WrestleMania. Let's just get this over with. this episode of SmackDown felt the same way. I was there last year. Can you mute yourself, Blake, for the static? Thank you. I was there last year for the SmackDown before WrestleMania, and it was a lot better. There's already reports that there was a lot more people last year than this year, but also last year John Cena was on there. Last year was John Cena's retirement tour. So a lot of people were there for John Cena, and he was there in the arena. So that put a lot of asses in seats. This year, we don't have a big major attraction like we did last year. So a lot of the stuff, and we'll get into some of the stuff in the show, there was a couple things that were like, okay, that made me want to see WrestleMania a little bit more, but it wasn't anything like, oh my God, I can't wait to see. I was already hyped for WrestleMania. I don't feel any more hyped than I was before after watching this episode of SmackDown, unfortunately.
Yeah, and sorry about that. I thought earlier you paused. That's why I'm muted. But when it came down to it, look, we don't have the attraction of John Cena in a main event this year, but we do have him hosting. The problem with that is earlier today, I was listening to more of the WWE interviews. You, and the great James Broderick were on last night, and we talked about a lot of things. And one of the things I mentioned was all these WWE interviews I love listening to during WrestleMania week because I get so much more insight into their personal shoot feelings. And until Mario Ronaldo mentioned it, I think that's his name, one of the broadcasters.
Joe Tessitore?
Joe Tessitore. I'm thinking way back when. They have the same commentating style. Joe Tessitore.
They sound the same, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Joe Tope Suicino. Joe Tessitore was interviewing Triple H, and Triple H mentioned John Cena hosting. And I had literally forgot all about that until it got mentioned today. I totally forgot that John Cena was hosting because it was such a desperate last move to move these tickets. And this is all going to come down to hopefully being a learning experience for TKO. By the way, none of this year's problems are WWE's fault. Injuries they couldn't foresee and they had to ride around. TKO being greedy as all hell, getting in their way, interjecting things into stories that shouldn't be there, resaturating a town they'd already been in last year that's 20% down on tourism as it is, and you basically ran the town dry last year. Louisiana itself or New Orleans is a wrestling city. Las Vegas is not, it never has been a wrestling city. Wrestling is also for families. Las Vegas is not a family city, okay? New Orleans is. There's almost nothing for kids to get involved with in Las Vegas. So tomorrow you got around this weekend maybe 44,000 fans per night. And again, I hearken back to the writing for this SmackDown being so lackluster. You can't blame it on Road Dogg now. He's not there. So what's the excuse? And this town tonight gave me really, really bad anxiety towards, man, I hope this crowd is hyped this weekend because tonight, it's not all their fault because WWE did not give them much to bite into tonight. But man, I thought at least the adrenaline of WrestleMania being right around the corner for the same city this weekend would ramp their excitement levels up more just for the sheer fact that they get it the next 2 days. Man, I was wrong.
Yeah, and I'm going to bring this up now because I don't feel like bringing it up later on. The video package of the Bella Twins that we saw on this episode of SmackDown, where Brie Bella said, oh, Nikki's trying her best to recover from injury to make sure she comes back. She makes it in time for the WrestleMania match, right? The reports have been going around all over the fucking internet, which I chewed out Tommy for sending it on the group chat earlier, that Paige is going to be replacing Nikki Bella, right? This is my problem. I'm like, why the fuck would they leak that information? That would have been a perfect fucking surprise, right? However, they leaked it. Everyone and their mama was posting about it. It was all over the internet. So I apologize to Tommy for chewing him out for it because everyone was posting this, right? if everyone is posting about this, if the WWE leaked this, why wouldn't you tease that on your show on TV? That right there would have hyped up a lot of people for WrestleMania. We already know, allegedly, reportedly, by every fucking source, including Ringside and everyone that you can think of, reported it. Paige is going to show up at WrestleMania this weekend. If it's true, why not tease it on SmackDown? That would have popped a lot of people.
That would have sold a ton more tickets as well, knowing the fact that her return was coming.
I'm going to be honest. I love you guys. You just kind of pissed me off.
That's how I felt earlier. I felt the same exact way.
I didn't know about that until you just said it.
Well, hey, if my shit was gonna get ruined, everyone's shit is gonna get ruined. I'm sorry, but fuck.
Paige is literally my second female, or is in my top 3 female wrestlers of all time are Charlotte Flair number 1, AJ Lee number 2, and Paige number 3. I could have literally made it another 12 hours or less than 12 hours without hearing that information because I didn't see it all day, and I would have been so happy to get that surprise. And now that is ruined for me. Also, there is, now that you said it, and now the genie's out of the bottle. Great. I hope I forget about it in time for tomorrow's show so I can be equally surprised. There actually was a tease for it because I've been listening to the interviews all week. And AJ Lee had mentioned it in an interview, saying that she's been trying. She said, "I've been begging and clamoring, and begging Paige to come back for months now, because I want her to feel the same thing I felt when I returned." And so she's been mentioned in WWE interviews, and I'm wondering if that was a tease because she dropped her by WWE name, not by her AEW Saraya, her real name. She said Paige.
And that's fine. And I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with Paige coming back. My problem is, okay, it was teased on a fucking podcast that most people aren't watching. We're watching the show. We're watching SmackDown. Tease it on SmackDown to make it a little bit more interesting if that's really what's going to happen. Like that was my thing when it comes to all that. Especially because this whole episode of SmackDown, it wasn't just the crowd made it dead. Most of it was dead. I'm not going to blame the crowd on this. It was a lot of talking, just like Monday Night Raw. A lot of talking, a lot of promos, a lot of video packages. And I get it. Go home show. They got to set up the WrestleMania matches. But they also have the Hall of Fame right after in about an hour, right? I was going to watch that, but I'm like, I'm not going to sit through another fucking 2-3 hours of talking. I just saw 2-3 hours of talking on SmackDown. I'm over it. I'm not going to watch the Hall of Fame. That's just too much.
Not even just that. Now that you mentioned the Hall of Fame, because it's actually starting at like midnight tonight. It kind of, I'm not saying they did, but now it kind of pushes that narrative for me that they phoned this SmackDown in so they could quickly get ready to set up the Hall of Fame. Because they gotta switch all the shit, get the stage ready, get the seating ready, redress the ring, get all the lighting done. Any of the people who didn't pay to stay for the Hall of Fame have got to get out. The superstars got to go shower, change into their suits and dresses and stuff. They might have just phoned this one in to get as quickly to make it. Triple H's wife is getting inducted tonight, so like he literally probably was like, I got to get through this show because I got 20 things to do before the Hall of Fame starts. He's probably the one inducting her. And now I'm kind of believing maybe that's why SmackDown was so ass. It's because they were just trying to get through it to get to the Hall of Fame, because they also have to get up early as fuck tomorrow to start setting up for the show. If you remember last year, Triple H was literally talking for an hour and 20 fucking minutes. And he drugged the show into 1:30, 2 a.m. territory.
It was way later than that.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels, he literally had, he even said Shawn's probably pissed him. He's probably sleeping in the back because he's got to get up at 4 o'clock for the NXT show that's at 10 a.m. That was last
There's people falling asleep in the crowd.
Dude, the kids, who was it? Stephanie's kids were nodding off. Triple H's kids were nodding off. Freaking There were who was it? I think Seth and Becky had Rue with them. I think she was like asleep in one of their arms or something. I'm like,
I think
bro.
Gunther was the only superstar who was actually awake.
I mean,
think Gunther was.
All I'm saying is maybe that's why the show sucked, because they were rushing for the Hall of Fame, because it's midnight over here, EST midnight. Over there, it's in your time zone, Snug. You're 3 hours behind me. It's at 9 p.m. there. So they're not going to get done till midnight.
Yeah. It's insane, dude. But let's get into the show, because we started off with Pat McAfee and Randy Orton pull up in a pickup truck like they usually do the past few weeks, and they get stopped by Nick Aldis, and Nick Aldis hands Pat McAfee a contract. I don't know what it's for. They didn't say anything about it. But first, Pat McAfee was like, oh, I read my own contracts, and I'm going to have to look over this, and I'll get back to you. And then he signs it. Right after he said, I'm not going to sign it, he signs it, and he gives it back to Nick Aldis. Why is Pat McAfee signing a contract? I don't know. They didn't tell us. It wasn't addressed. And then Randy Orton goes to the ring, and he cuts a promo on Cody. Cody's a bad friend. All he does is take and take and take. You know who's not a bad friend? Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee has been telling me what I needed to hear, to be myself. And Pat McAfee has had my back. It's Cody's fault that I've been getting hurt. I always have Cody's back. He never has my back. But you know who has my back? Pat McAfee has my back. So that's Randy Orton's reasoning to have Pat McAfee in his corner. I don't need Pat McAfee, but I want Pat McAfee. Pause. And that's how we kick things off on this episode of SmackDown.
What's really stupid about all of this is that this story for the last 3 weeks has been centered around Pat being involved in it. Imagine all the emotional storytelling, personal anguish, great angles we could have gotten had this just remained Cody and Randy. For the first fucking time in 3 weeks, this story finally centered around Randy on his own in the ring, cutting a promo, giving us a reason, instead of it being Pat McAfee out there talking to Cody, telling us all the reasons he's at the behest sucking TKO's teeth. Like, oh, I'm going to save this, I'm going to save that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Hey, remember when this entire feud was supposed to be about Randy breaking his own record and getting number 15? Remember when it wasn't about saving the WWE? From what? The record-breaking profits they've been having for 3 straight years, Pat? Remember, the Attitude Era? That was 30 years ago. That is a bygone memory. And honestly, if you ever go back and watch most of the Attitude Era like I have, half that shit is ass, doesn't work. Half the comedy's cringe, doesn't hit the same, and most of the characters are stupid, except for the main ones that WWE always reminds you of. Okay, other than that, when you really look at the Attitude Era, when you watch it start to finish, and not just from nostalgia, only half of it is actually good. So that's dumb. This all should have just literally been about Cody and Randy. Cody teasing that heelish tendency, that vicious side that he needs to have, that Stephanie told him he needs to have. We have only had 3 good fucking parts of this feud. Cody getting beat the shit out of by Randy initially, Stephanie McMahon trying to wake Cody up, and tonight where Randy finally gives us reasoning without Pat up his ass. And that's it. This has been a month, and we've only had 3 parts of this shit that makes sense, and some of the stories taking place on Raw. And there was better shit on Raw between Cody and Stephanie than anything we got with Pat. And I love Pat, but not here in this story. This is the most simplistic story that they could have ever told, that didn't need anything other than the 20-year history and 2 guys just going, hey, I want to beat you to prove that I can do it. And I want to beat you so I can prove to myself I can become number 15. That's all it had to be. That's all anybody wanted it to be. But no, here we are. Fuck's sakes. And now we're stuck with Pat in the main event angle. And you know it's going to be dumb as shit.
Yeah, the worst part is we're gonna have to deal with him if Randy wins, which I think is kind of a possibility now that I'm thinking about it, because I have a feeling the contract is some sort of stipulation change because of TKO. I feel like they're either gonna do the stupidest shit possible and make Pat McAfee the special guest referee, which if they do, I swear to God, or they're gonna make it a hardcore match or Extreme Rules or whatever you want to call it, which that wouldn't be that bad because it would actually make the match better. But you would have Pat McAfee getting involved every 5 fucking seconds. So there's that. Um, Blood basically took all the words that I had in my head. I mean, it's stupid as shit that Pat's in here in the first place. And the thing is, he didn't even want to be in. I'm pretty sure that's what I saw. He didn't even want to be in the story. TKO put him in for like a money grab or something. Like no one gives a shit that Pat is in here. I like Pat. He works way better with Michael Cole on commentary, and he does not belong in the main event scene of Wrestle fucking Mania. Holding and I don't remember when he did it. I think it was last week. Holding up the WWE Championship. No, put it down. Go grab yourself a replica. Like Cody said. Just stupid as shit.
Yeah, you know what? While we're waiting on Tommy to come back in, I'd also like to harken on the fact that Pat does belong in the main event of WrestleMania. On commentary with Michael Cole covering it. That's the closest to a Mania main event this man should ever be. Tommy?
Hey, Snug, you and I have literally heard this exact promo within the last 2 weeks. Because this sounds almost spot for spot, word for word, Zarya's promo on Soul. Spot for spot, word for word, the whole, hey, all you do is take. I'll take every opportunity, all of this. It feels like Randy Orton just watched Zarya's promo on NXT on Sol Ruka and went, hey, you want to know what I'm going to do? I'm going to write down everything you say and transport it to Cody Rhodes. That's just what it feels like to me. And that's my biggest problem is the fact that it just feels like he stole this entire promo from someone who's in developmental.
Yeah, it just kind of felt like they're just trying to tie up some loose ends before the main event to, just justify what Pat McAfee is going to have to do at WrestleMania. He's going to do something because he signed some type of contract for some odd reason that we don't know about. So I hope we find out tomorrow what that's about. I don't know, but we will see. The opening match was an 8-man tag team match. The MFTs versus the White Six in a no DQ, anything goes match. But the major key focus here that everyone was pretty much waiting to see is what's going to happen with Tama Tonga and Solo Sikoa. Not much happened. The MFTs got the win. Tama Tonga did most of the work at the end where he got Uncle Howdy and was about to hit him with his finisher and get the pin. But before Tama Tonga can do that, Solo Sikoa swooped in, hit Uncle Howdy with his Samoan spike, and Solo Sikoa steals a pin, leaving Tama Tonga standing there with his hand in his pants, basically. But the MFTs won this one.
Yeah, I'm about sick and fucking tired of talking about MFTs and Wyatt Six. I've said this a million times, and this will be the fucking last, because if this continues, I'm no longer going to have any commentary on this feud. Between this, Aleister Black, and Damian Priest shit last year, I have lost track of when this feud started because I feel like it's been going on since the day I was fucking born. This is so old, so tired. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of seeing it. I'm not interested in it. None of these guys do shit for me except for Tama, and even he's grating on my fucking patience. This just tells me the Wyatt Six is a missed fucking mark because of all the injuries, all the time off TV, the jump start, start again, stop again, start again shit they've had for the last 2.5 years since they've been back. You know what was really damning to me? The fact that Alexa Bliss gets a higher pop from doing Sister Abigail than Uncle Howdy, the fucking brother of Bray Wyatt himself. I'm done with it. This is the last time I will ever talk about this fucking feud. I'm sick of it. Get it the fuck off my TV.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I thought this feud was supposed to end for fucking ever ago. Like, god damn, I'm fucking sick of it. Yes, it's cool. It's cool to have them in a street fight, whatever you want to call it. I don't even care. Just why are we still seeing this? I thought this was supposed to end like 4, 5, 6 times ago. And plus, in this match, you couldn't even tell who was in the fucking match. I couldn't tell who was in the match for the MFTs. Obviously, you could tell who was in for the Wyatts, but I could not tell who was in for MFTs because it damn looked like everyone on the MFTs was involved. So I'm on the same page. I'm fucking sick of it.
Tox, it was everyone but Tala. Although it didn't look like everyone but Tala Tonga. But overall, this entire feud, I'm with y'all. It's super, super dumb. I thought this sucker ended 2 weeks ago when Tama Tonga handed the lantern back to the Wyatt Six. That was literally all this feud was about, is the fact that the MFTs took the lantern from the Wyatt Six. That was the feud. It was over the lantern. They got the lantern back 2 fucking weeks ago. Why is this street fight even happening? It makes no sense.
You know what? I'm going to harken on this.
You said you were going to talk about it anymore.
But I got to get this off my chest. I have never, in my 24 years of being a wrestling fan, in the 6 years I was a pro wrestler, I have never seen a feud have 4 blow-off matches. This feud has literally blown off 4 times. 4. And I guarantee you this is not it.
Then those weren't the blow-off matches then. Those were just
but the
part
thing
of the
is,
story.
they were blow-off matches because they were literally definitive end points at multiple times in this feud. There have been definitive end points.
Obviously not.
The lantern shit. Oh, they've had like what? How many in the feud we're gonna brawl to the death fucking Friday Night SmackDown matches have they had in the last 5 months? So many.
Yeah, well, that's funny that you guys mention it because I didn't even realize that this was supposed to be on 4-on-4, but everyone, including Nikki Cross, was out there doing shit. Tommy mentioned that Tala Tonga wasn't a part of this match, but he was out there choke slamming. He was out there taking bumps, throwing escalators around. I guess it wasn't an 8-man tag. Like, none of this made any sense to me, bro. It was so weird. But the good news is it looks like it is finally over because after this match, there was a backstage segment where Solo Sikoa said, all right, now we can go after the tag team titles. So I think they're going to go after Damian Priest and R-Truth. So we got that to look forward to. All right, let's move on. We had Jacob Fatu pulling up in the back of a cop car with the sirens going off, and he hops out the whip and he jumps on top of the cop car to cut a promo on Drew McIntyre. The people love Jacob Fatu. I think that this was like the first time in the whole episode of SmackDown where the people are actually like a little bit up, not as much, but more than the beginning of the show. And basically, Jacob Fatu just says, "Hey, you want to bring up my past? Well, guess what, Drew? That's not me anymore. I'm a new person. I did a lot of dumb shit back in the day, but I don't regret it. It made me who I am today. I'm here today, and tomorrow, I'm gonna whoop that ass. And after I'm done with that, I'm gonna do to you what I did to my past life, and that's leave you in the rear view mirror." Jacob Fatu cuts a great promo. I mean, he sounds real. He is real. He's believable, and it's always good to see Jacob Fatu on my TV screen. So I thought this was lovely.
For a 3-minute promo, it was fine. I don't think it was anywhere near his best promo. And look, a lot of y'all are gonna be like, "Oh my god, Mr. Blood's hating." You know what? I'm hating on this whole episode. Suck my fucking dick. When it comes down to it, look, he repeated himself 3 times. 3-minute promo. He said the same 3 things twice a piece. They went through the trouble of dragging a cop car out here, climbing on top. The audience barely gave, like 30% of the audience gave a shit. It wasn't until his first, you know what I mean, they were like, they were like, oh, mini, tiny pop from a section like way the fuck over here, opposite of hard cam. And then when it ends, they barely pop for his music starting. Like, he was giving them something. The crowd wasn't invested. They were barely invested in it. He repeated himself too many times. The whole thing came off as extremely weak to me.
This was actually one of my more higher points. This was actually the one thing that there was a couple things that I liked on the entire show, and this is one of them. I touched up on this on predictions a little bit, and I just hate when in a feud, like let's say someone has had a, like criminal records, or they've just been like considered on the street, like I don't know what the word is that I'm looking for, but I just hate whenever they use that point in someone's life for like the story, even though it is to get it riled up, um to get them heated at each other. I just don't like when they do that, and this made it like more worse for me. But the promo itself was the main point, and I liked it. It's a good promo. Uh, yeah, Jacob messed up a few times. I think I don't even remember. Holy shit, that's how bad the show was. But it was a good segment.
Yeah, the segment itself was great. Here's my thing, and this does go for the entire show. I was going to bring this up during the beginning. I'm going to bring it up here because it still fits here. I did watch the kickoff show for WrestleMania before SmackDown went live. We got more from the crowd there at the kickoff show than for the entirety of SmackDown. And that is extremely sad, especially knowing the fact that one of the men talking in legitimately one of the best promos of the goddamn night still does not get the pop he absolutely deserves, especially with the fact that he's one of the biggest damn names here. Like, really, you've got Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, Jacob Fatu. Those are the 4 guys that I actually care about right now going into Mania from SmackDown, which is highly unfortunate.
All right, then we had a tag team title match. I know you guys were talking about how neither of the tag team titles are being defended at WrestleMania, but they were defended on SmackDown. Damian Priest and R-Truth defended versus Kofi Kingston and Grayson Waller. Now, Damian Priest and R-Truth, they won. They retained their titles. They did a double five knuckle shuffle, which popped the crowd. The only thing I got to say about this match is Grayson Waller. Last year, he was in Vegas. He wasn't on SmackDown. He wasn't on Mania, but he was there in Vegas. I know that because I ran into him. I saw him. So I just thought, we fast forward a year later and we're seeing some improvements. He got in better shape. He's in a tag team with the New Day, Kofi Kingston, and he's at least on the episode of SmackDown before WrestleMania, which is something. So, other than that, that's the only thing that was going through my mind during this thing because I couldn't take this serious. But what'd you guys think?
This actual match kind of depressed me. All I could focus on in this match was how far I feel like Damian Priest has fallen. I don't know what it is. I have this energy when I'm watching him that he feels like he is coasting right now. Did you notice he's been wrestling with a shirt over his singlet more often? You know what I noticed tonight? He looks like he's put on more weight in the stomach area, like the old Damian Priest before he got his ass in gear when he got to NXT, put in the work and dropped the weight, was super hungry, super energized, super ready to do everything he could to be a top guy. Best shape of his life he was in when he joined Judgment Day. Great shape as world champion. And then he looks tired. He looks like he's having some fun, but he feels like he is coasting. This guy was the fucking world champion a year and a half ago of Raw. He was in great stories, good rivalries, had some great matches with Drew very early last year. Was in a 6-month nothing fucking feud with Alistair. Hop, skip, jump. Now he's in a tag team with R-Truth. And I love that he's with R-Truth having fun. I like the fun aspect of it. I like that Truth is being utilized. I don't like how he's being utilized because they never gave Truth the chance to really run with the whole Ron Killings thing. And it just feels when I watch him wrestle, when I see this shit, I'm like, yeah, you've made him a champion, but this is the one guy on both rosters where when I look at him right now, I genuinely feel like he got demoted. And I feel like he knows that or feels that too, because I don't feel like he's trying. And I don't feel like he seems like he's happy in the spot that he's in.
Do you think it could just be that he's just getting older?
Truth is like almost 45. 10 years older than him.
Yeah, but that's R-Truth, bro. No one ages like R-Truth does.
Yeah, I mean, Black don't crack and all that, but Priest is 45. Like, for corn's sakes, like, Punk is 2 years older than than Damian Priest. Look at him. You know, what I'm saying is there's a drastic difference between Priest now and Priest 14 months ago. And I just want him to get back to Priest of old because he has so much potential still with the last few years he's got before he's 50. And I feel like they are wasting his time. And I feel like he feels that way and he's not trying his best anymore. And I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, I agree on the fall of Damian Priest on where he is right now. Because whenever he first got brought over to SmackDown, I mean, we all assumed that, he's going after Cody because he's told him that, I'll see you later, champ. And he's going to be in the world title picture finally after dealing with the Judgment Day. And now he's in the tag division after dealing with Aleister Black and whoever else he dealt with. Drew McIntyre, that's who it was. So yeah, I just don't like the position that he's in right now. I don't notice him like acting like he's not having like he's not liking what he's doing right now, which completely understand if he's not because I don't like where he is either. But I just want Priest back in the world title scene. Even if he doesn't win it, I just want him in the world title scene. Like maybe after him and Truth drop the titles, they could go their separate ways and like maybe go after the world champion, whoever that is, after Mania. But yeah, that's all my thoughts.
The match itself was fine, but I'm with you guys here. The fall of Damian Priest seriously needs to be studied. I am going to remind you that 2 years ago, this man was Mr. Money in the Bank. And who did he cash in on at WrestleMania 40? None other than Seth fucking Rollins.
Drew
McIntyre.
Point still stands. It was one of the biggest goddamn names on the roster. And look at him now. Stuck in the mid-card division 2 years later. This tag is still mid-card. Tag is still mid-card. But still, he was main event world heavyweight champion cashing in on Drew McIntyre after he beat Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. And now he can't even get on the damn card 2 years later. This match, honestly, to me, should have been at WrestleMania just to even out the damn card.
This is an interesting topic because I gotta disagree, man. I think Damian Priest is just fine. I mean, just look at the main card right now. Not everyone can be in the main card. He had his moment. Damian Priest had his moment. He got over. And now he's in the tag team division. It kind of elevates the tag team division having a former world champion like Damian Priest in the tag team division. There's nothing wrong with that. And then you put him with R-Truth, another guy that the people really love. They're having these matches. They're entertaining. The people are popping for them. And there's still time to tell a better story. Maybe, hey, Damian Priest looks like he's getting tired of R-Truth silliness. I need to see Damian Priest smack R-Truth over the head, be like, hey, stop fucking around. I need Ron Killings. I don't want R-Truth as a tag team partner. I want Ron Killings as a tag team partner. If we're going to keep this titles, we need Ron Killings or something, you know. I think this is going to be fine. We just got to wait and see how this whole thing plays out.
I disagree with that disagreement, and I'll tell you why. There's a difference when you have a Charlotte Flair who's a fucking 15-time women's world champion who then, because she's done everything, goes into the tag division to elevate it. He's been a world champion once. They spent all that time, 3 years with the Judgment Day story, building this guy up, having him beat Jey Uso, Finn Balor, Damian Priest. I mean, literally in high-profile matches for almost an entire fucking year. Winning at WrestleMania, opening match of the weekend, having a moment, and then literally a year after that, he's on SmackDown, and the only way this guy gets the monster pop of monster pops is when Rhea is involved with the Terror Twins. All that time, that story, that emotion, randomly moved from Brand over to SmackDown from Raw, and then he spends the first part of the year with Drew in good storytelling, 6 months in bullshit with Alistair, not even looking or sniffing championship gold or even in contention. Again, a guy who was just one of your most long built-up main eventers for 3.5 years straight. And then now this guy has been dropped even further because here's how it goes. World title, mid-card, upper mid-card singles championships, a la Intercontinental United States. Then upper undercard to bottom of the mid-card tag championships. Only way you get lower than that is the pre-show. So I don't know how he went from this to this in 14 months, but why waste all that time if you were just going to give up on him? Because you put Drew back in the world title picture. Why couldn't you do it for Damian? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'd still rather see Damian Priest in the tag team division than Charlotte Flair in the tag team division. To me, it doesn't matter how many championships Charlotte Flair has had. Yes, she's a big name. Yes, she's in the tag team division. But to me, she's not really doing it for me in the tag team. She hasn't nothing that Charlotte Flair has done other than maybe getting pinned by Lyra on Monday Night Raw. I'm not like excited to be like, oh my God, Charlotte Flair is in the tag team division. It's just blah.
But you just went against your own point because you said having Damian Priest in the tag team division elevates that division. Charlotte's the most decorated woman in all of WWE history. And
I'm
you
not
say,
talking about Damien. I'm talking about Charlotte. I
I know,
like
but
Damien in the tag team division.
I'm
I
doing
don't like Charlotte.
yes, but I'm making a connected point here. You said that it doesn't matter how many championships she's won. It does. It adds to her credibility as a character.
Not to
So
me, dog.
it should. She's won 14 more titles than Damian.
Doesn't make a difference to me, dog. Damien is still more entertaining today than Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair is stale as fuck. She's so boring now.
That's hilarious because the crowd loves her.
Well, y'all have y'all's TikTok live debate.
Nah, man. I mean, I at least not the crowd in Vegas. I did not see them throwing the babies in the air for Charlotte Flair. And that rhymes.
Definitely didn't see him doing it for Damian Priest for, I don't know, checks notes, 8 months.
They popped more from Damian Priest than Charlotte tonight.
No, they popped for R-Truth, and Damian was with R-Truth.
Okay. They're in the tag team. I don't know, man. It's just I think Damian Priest is just fine, but like I said, we'll see how this thing plays out because this next thing was actually something that I really liked. This was a promo segment between Jade and Rhea. And maybe it was because everything that happened in the social media IWC, right, where these two went at each other, right? So I kind of feel like there is a little bit of real tension there between the two. I kind of felt that in this promo. There is like that level of like that competitiveness between these two. Jade Cargill pretty much said, hey, I've been embarrassing you the past few weeks, which she has. And, you've been coming after me, but you failed. Rhea's like, I haven't been coming after you because every time you're hiding behind your little friends or you're cheap shotting me, attacking me from behind, blah, blah, blah. So I was already hyped for this match. I like this promo, and I can't wait to see them get their hands on each other, man. And this promo actually did make me a little bit more excited for their match. When are they going? Saturday or Sunday? I don't remember.
Sunday.
Sunday. Okay. But what did you guys think?
I think Jade still needs to work on her promos. I thought she did decent here, but it's just something off about her cadence, the way that she cuts them. And listen to me, Rhea. You don't understand that you can't handle me. It's just like, good God. Like, figure out a different way to do your whole promo. I'm the women's WWE champion. All this head movement every single time. And I'm like, for fuck's sakes, it's painful to watch. Look, when it comes down to it, Rhea's carrying this entire feud, and she's going to carry on Sunday because that's why they put her in there with Jade. They need someone reliable that they know can pull out all the stops, guide the match, call all the spots, and make sure that all the timing is down correctly for the match cards. When it comes down to it, if you don't have a Bianca to put in there with Jade, if you have Charlotte Flair preoccupied, you want Rhea or an Io or a Bayley or someone that is just so fucking good at leading in a match that they can make sure that this thing doesn't stink out the joint. That's why a lot of us felt like her and Tiffany were such a bad pairing last year. Tiffany is still green herself, so having her lead with Jade wasn't going to work. That's why they had to choreograph and rehearse all their matches. That's why they looked so rehearsed, and even then some of them sucked because the timing was awful on both of them. So when you have Rhea in here, it just pisses me off because I know Rhea's not winning. I know she's not. So, and the thing is, I don't think Jade is at that point where she deserves a win over Rhea Ripley. I don't care if you're fucking world champion. They put it on her because she's an experiment. And because Tiffany wasn't working, and because Bianca isn't back to feud yet. And because they put all their other main event women in the fucking tag division. So they had to interrupt Rhea's story with Io to give Jade something to fucking do. And my problem is, you guys gonna sit here and tell me that Jade has earned the right to pin Rhea at Mania of all places? Rhea beat fucking Charlotte at Mania, for Christ's sakes. Okay? Jade is not Charlotte. And Rhea did deserve that win over Charlotte. But Jade has been here for a cup of coffee. And in that cup of coffee, for half of that cup of coffee, she's been in the drizzling shits. So I don't think that just because she's had 4 months of better, upper fucking momentum means she should be pinning Rhea at WrestleMania. And you're like, well, Mr. Blood, you don't know if she's going to win for sure. I do, because why else would you then give her 2 brand new heel backups if you weren't going to make sure the heel turn sticks?
Man, my biggest issue with this is the fucking crowd. Just for some reason, this is where they decide to come alive the most, is when Rhea comes out. And then they are so alive that they make Rhea forget her fucking lines. She starts stuttering over her words because the crowd is interrupting her. Just shut the fuck up like you were doing during Randy's promo. I mean, I get it. It's Rhea. She's the best, like one of the best women's wrestlers on the entire WWE roster, whatever you want to call it. But I mean, just let her get her promo out, and then halfway through her cutting it, like what you do with CM Punk some of the times, he cuts the promo, and then halfway through, like you do the CM Punk chants, and then he continues. Just they didn't do that whatsoever, and that kind of ruined it for me. And I don't even know how it wasn't ruined, because Jade was in there, and I can't stand Jade anymore. I haven't been able to. I don't know how I've been able to, but just I don't know.
For the most part of this whole entire show, you can hear a pin drop, but they were loud enough to make Rhea forget her lines. I don't know if I watched the same promo as you, Tox.
Like in the beginning of it, in the beginning of Rhea's promo when she came out, she said like one part and then stopped so the crowd could chant. And then
okay.
Yeah.
I guess I missed that part, but all right. Go
Clearly.
ahead, Tommy.
Here's my biggest problem. The promo itself, the promo battle, great. I think it was one of the best that these two have had this entire feud. Here's my problem. Isn't this going to be her second title defense? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, second. And by the time this match happens, let's see, 167 days.
Did you guys have a problem with it when Roman was doing it?
Okay.
Yeah, actually, if you remember, everybody did. If you remember, that was the main thing people were bitching about. They were complaining that they're like, dude, you've been champion 4 years and you defended less times in 1 year than Gunther did when he was IC champion. He had twice the defenses.
And even then, let's be honest here, you cannot over here be comparing Roman fucking Reigns to Jade Cargill.
Why not? They're both champions.
One of them is totally way better than the other. Are you kidding me? Even with the minimal amount of defenses that Roman had, he still was not waiting 100 days to defend his first title defense. Just saying there.
Roman was also a special attraction who had earned over 10 years the audience's trust and patience, and they were willing to wait because they were so excited. He became like a Brock Lesnar. You only pull him out every now and again, and it keeps him special. And Andre the Giant. Andre didn't wrestle every night. He wrestled every couple of months. Jade is nowhere near that level, not even close. She couldn't lace Roman's boots, let alone shine them.
No, but that's what they're trying to get her towards. That's what they're That's how they're trying to build her. I mean, that's not going to happen overnight.
No, they're rushing it. That's the problem. They've been rushing her to that point, and that's the problem.
Mm.
And he did bring up the fact that Rhea beat Charlotte Flair, well deserved. So you're telling me Jade Cargill is going to end up beating Rhea Ripley? So you're telling me that Jade Cargill can beat Charlotte fucking Flair? Hell no. No.
In her sleep.
No.
Charlotte sucks. Just
Absolutely
like Sol Ruka.
Not. No. You are 100%.
And Paige is trash too.
Okay,
Nah, I'm just taking shots. No, I'm
I'm about to say, bro. I was about to teleport 3 hours into the past, jump to your screen. Charlotte Flair and Bayley are the top 2 best women's technicians in modern wrestling. Period.
Tiffany Stratton is way better. No, I'm just kidding. All right, go on. Let's move on.
I'm about to figure out fucking instant time transmission. I'm about to pull a Goku and just appear in the room behind you.
All right, let's get it moving. Do you guys remember when some of us, or at least I was, hyped for Jordynne Grace being called up to the main roster? Yeah, she wrestled today for the first time in I don't know how long. I've completely forgot she was on SmackDown. And we want to talk about, Jade Cargill not showing up and not really getting title defenses or whatever. There's a lot of people that we don't see show up a whole lot on Raw or SmackDown. Jordynne Grace is one of them. She wrestled Tiffany Stratton in a #1 contenders match for the Women's United States Championship out of nowhere. I mean, Jade Cargill has had maybe 2 matches on SmackDown since her debut. She's won both of them. Tiffany Stratton probably the same since she came back. And all right, #1 contenders match. And I don't know, man. Someone has a stiffy for Tiffy over there in the writers' room because they fucking Tiffany Stratton beat Jordynne Grace clean. And she is the #1 contender. So we're going to get Tiffany Stratton versus Giulia for the Women's United States Championship at some point.
Yeah, this shit pissed me the fuck off. This whole show is going to be me bitching because I hate just about everything they fucking did on this show. And y'all can kiss my ass in the comments and walk it dry. Look, when it comes down to it, Tiffany was just world champion for like 9 straight months, and it was a failure, trash fire, boring as shit, and ridiculous. And she's been half that fucking time as champion involved in tag team bullshit. How come? You know what? Let me put it this way. We have been championing WWE for handling all these NXT call-ups. Lash Legend, Trick Williams, Javon Evans, Oba Femi. The list goes on. How come no one mentions Jordynne Grace? Oh, that's right, because WWE fucking forgets to book her like they do the other NXT call-ups. And I'm wondering if it's because those are all homegrown WWE talent, and because she came from TNA first. And I'm just like, maybe, because it just feels like a Vince-ism to me. Oh, if they're built here, they get the push of a lifetime. I mean, how many of these NXT call-ups that are WWE homegrown are in WrestleMania tomorrow? And then here is another NXT call-up, Jordynne Grace. Oh, but she's not WWE homegrown. She came over from TNA. So notice how she is losing a match before Mania when she should be on the fucking card, okay? What pisses me off is Jordynne deserves a shot at a women's mid-card championship because I think she needs it more than Tiffany. Tiffany was champion for most of the last year. And I'm sorry, I would much rather see us trying to see if Jordynne Grace can carry a championship in WWE well, because if I have to choose between watching Tiffany carry a title again and knowing that when Jordynne was the Knockouts Women's Champion, she was beloved, great, and a high prospect in pro wrestling, Jordynne has proven she's the better champion. So to me, this was dumb. Like, Tiffany's been here. Jordynne is new. Jordynne needs the momentum. Give it to Jordynne. It's that fucking simple.
I think the only difference, let me jump in here real quick. The only difference that I can think of besides Jordan Grace not being homegrown, is compared to all the other people you mentioned that were called up from NXT is age. I think that's probably that could be a factor. Um, because that's not really the case for everyone that's not homegrown. Joe Hendry, he gets a lot of love and attention. He's won NXT championship, the main title. Jordan Grace didn't, I don't think. Tommy, you can probably tell me if I'm wrong on that, or Toxic. So I think they just see Jordan Grace kind of like a natty, just to make it more simple.
Which is ridiculous because Jordan is not as good of she's obviously not as good of a technician as Natalya. I would never say that. I mean, there's very few people that are better than any of the Hearts when it comes to that stuff. But Jordan is definitely more interesting than Natalya, for sure. Her gimmick is a lot better than Natalya's. And Jordan was recently a champion, unlike Natalya. I can't even tell you the last time Natalya held a fucking piece of title gold. But Jordan was also the champion of an entire division in your partner company. You know what I'm saying?
So only 30.
Oh,
Literally.
really?
She's only 30, yeah.
I thought she was older.
No.
Yeah, she's still young. All right, go ahead, Tux.
Snug, I'm gonna correct you because you started complaining. Jordan was injured. That's why she hasn't shown up. So
yeah, someone shout out to Brandon Steiner says it's because she had an ankle injury on a dark match.
yeah, that. This match was okay for me. I didn't really enjoy it nor hate it, but the outcome is the only thing I will bitch about here. And it's not even anything against Tiffany for me. It's just the fact that Jordan Grace fucking needs it. She didn't get shit over on NXT, so you're just gonna make her eat the shit sandwich here? Like, goddamn, she just came back from an injury, and you're gonna make her eat shit as soon as she comes back. It's not even gonna wait. And the stupid part is, I don't even think that Tiffany and Giulia are on the WrestleMania card, which it should be, so Tommy's OCD can calm the fuck down. So the outcome was the only stupid thing for me. But the match was good itself.
No, this is not on the card. Neither of these women are on the card. None of them are on the card, which seriously pisses me off because, as Blood said, Jordan Grace absolutely deserves to be on the goddamn card. She really does. And I'm with Blood as well, where I would much rather see Jordan Grace hold that United States title than Tiffany Stratton. Plain and simple. Her world championship reign, her women's championship reign, could tell you that. Because that reign was ass. Completely. From beginning to end, it sucked. Plain and simple. So I would much rather see any title on Jordan Grace, someone who was an NXT call-up, that it kind of seems like all they're doing is feeding other people. Like, there you go. It's like, hey, you want to win? Men, you have Kit Wilson. Women, you have Jordan Grace. Even though Jordan Grace is 100% better than Kit Wilson.
Tommy, I don't know why Tommy keeps comparing like the men's division with the women's division. Roman is better than Jade. What did you just say? Fucking, you compared who? I don't know. Anyway,
Kit Wilson to Jordan Grace.
Yeah, okay. Because that's a good comparison. All right. Up next, we had Trick Williams and Sami Zayn segment. The Lemon Pepper Steppers. This was interesting to me because it had a little bit of everything. It had like the entertainment factor where Trick Williams was being his usual goofy self. He's like, I'm not out here to make jokes. I'm out here to be serious. I got something serious to get off my chest. And he calls out Sami Zayn. and this guy in a gingerbread man suit comes out, and it's just fun and games like usual Trick Williams, right? But then he gets interrupted by Sami Zayn. You out here playing games the night before one of your biggest matches of your entire life. You ain't ready. You're just a kid, Trick. You're about to step in the ring with me, one of the greatest ever. That got major boos. A lot of the stuff Sammy was saying, he was talking about himself, sounded kind of heelish. You know, I'm one of the best in the world. I'm this, I'm that. The fans didn't like that. And to top it all off, to just put a little bit more heat on Sammy, Sammy and Trick get into it. Sammy throws Trick out the ring, and then he haluva kicks the gingerbread man, which a lot of people were getting a kick out of, which to me seemed kind of heelish. You got this fun gimmick out there that the people are enjoying. Sami Zayn takes him out. Sami Zayn gets booed. Trick Williams gets cheered. But I thought this was really good.
Wow. You thought it was good, huh? Okay.
I was
wondering if they were hiding Vince McMahon in the back, because this is some shit he would have written. You want me to take Trick serious, WWE? So you have him go cut a promo on a guy in a gingerbread mascot costume. That's the most Vince McMahon shit I've seen Trick do. And Trick cut a pretty decent promo. Hard to take him seriously when he's doing it to a fucking Shrek gingerbread guy. I was expecting Sammy to take the fucking mask off, and it was Sammy. Hell, then I thought, make this better, and that when he haluva kicks the gingerbread man, the head falls off, and it's Carmelo Hayes. I was waiting on this to turn into a triple threat. We're not getting the triple threat. That also pisses me off. Why the fuck is Carmelo Hayes not in this match, but he was a part of this feud? He spent fucking 3 months making that U.S. title open challenge dope as hell, having these awesome matches. Gets into a tiff with Sammy and Trick over this shit. You know what's going to annoy the fuck out of me? At Mania, it's Trick versus Sammy, but Carmelo can't touch the match. But oh, we've got a spot for Lil Yachty, but not Carmelo Hayes. That makes me mad. Lil Yachty will be there because he's also doing partnership with WWE right now. He'll be there in Trick's corner. But we leave Carmelo, the guy who's been making that title dope as shit for the majority of this year, will not be on the card. That's dumb as fuck. You can enjoy this shit all you want, but I hope you put some of that lemon pepper seasoning on it, because this shit had no fucking flavor.
I thought it was going to be Lil Yachty under the thing at first. And then
Yeah,
I thought it
that's
could
all.
have been Sammy. And then I'm like, I don't know, man. There was a lot of things going through my mind. And it turned out to be something I didn't expect. Also, you add how kind of, I don't want to say lame. Lame is a strong word, but underwhelming this whole episode of Friday Night SmackDown, that when I saw this, I'm like, this is probably one of the best things we're going to get out of this show. So yeah, man, I thought it was great. I loved it. But what'd you think, Tox?
I just thought it was boring. The only part of this that I actually liked is when Sammy Haluba kicked the gingerbread man and the gingerbread man's head twisted. That was the only funny thing. Like, that was the most cartooniest shit I've ever seen, which I liked it, and that was the only part. Um, I was completely expecting it to be Lil Yachty or Carmelo Hayes under that, but I thought if it was Carmelo, he was gonna take it off and hit Trick with the first 48, and then, oh, guess what? You cost me for that United States Championship. So now I'm throwing myself into this, and I've already talked to Nick Aldis about it. That would have been way much better than this shit. I mean, to be honest, I could have seen, I could see Carmelo getting involved at WrestleMania, and then somehow at Backlash we get a triple threat that we should have gotten at Mania, but I don't know. There was only one part of it that I actually liked.
Wouldn't that be a huge slap in the face if Carmelo Hayes was under that fucking thing? Like, hey, you're not gonna be in the WrestleMania card, but we'll put you in this gingerbread man suit. Go on out there, gingerbread man. Like, no, bro. No.
And let's agree here. Carmelo deserved and earned for months now. He earned a spot at Mania. Let's be real. He earned a spot at Mania. I think we can all agree on that. He should be in this fucking match. I know you hate multi-mans, Edgar, but I don't think you can disagree that if there was going to be a multi-man at all, if you take them all out of Mania and there was going to be one, this is one that should be a multi-man because every man involved deserves to be in this match.
Yeah, but then I'm not also a big fan of like, oh, let's give it to him because he feels like he deserves it. And that can, oh, everyone gets a participation trophy because everyone deserves it. Sorry, that's not how life works either.
No, he earned it. Not deserves. He earned it. He made that title great this year.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it. I wouldn't be mad if Carmelo. I like Carmelo, but also I'm liking this feud with Trick and Sammy. I want to see a one-on-one match between these two. So I'm good either way. But I get what you're saying. Tommy, what'd you think?
What sucks even more is this feels like the entire segment was just one massive callback to the random Sami Zayn diss track that Trick Williams and Lil Yachty decided to put out, which was literally called, if I'm correct on this, Gingerbread Man.
Yeah.
Which is probably the entire reason why Trick Williams said the words, "I'm not seeing one gingerbread man, I'm seeing two."
That, and they've been calling him Gingerbread Man for the past few weeks.
Either way, this still sucked ass, and I absolutely hated it.
All right. Well, speaking of sucking ass, we were supposed to get a women's tag team match, Lyra and Bailey versus who were they supposed to fight? Oh yeah, Charlotte and Alexa, and they got interrupted. Thank God, by Nia Jax and Lash Legend, and Nia Jax and Lash Legend take them all out. And this was quick. This was fast, in and out. And I thought, great, thank you.
It's been the same angle for a month. The Irresistible Forces interrupt tag matches. I mean, this is a waste of time. And I'm a fan of all women involved. Y'all know I stan Charlotte. She's my GOAT. I stan Alexa. I definitely stan Bailey. If you don't stan Bailey, you're a fucking idiot. And Lyra's okay. But other than that, this didn't do anything for any of the women. Ooh, they stood tall. They've been standing tall for a month. It doesn't have the same effect when you do it over and over and over again. There's such thing as the laws of diminishing returns. WWE should know about that because that's why Mania ticket sales suck this year. The laws of diminishing returns. Don't oversaturate the same market twice in a fucking row. And don't give me the same fucking story thread 4 weeks straight. And not just on SmackDown. We've seen this Irresistible Forces beatdown and interruption on Raw and SmackDown for over a fucking month. It stopped being effective 2 weeks ago. It's not effective here. Waste of time.
I just plain up didn't care for it. As soon as I saw Nia Jax in the ring, I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, can we at least get a match? Because, I mean, just the matches at Mania is one of the most hyped things that I'm wanting to see. Which is surprising because usually the women's tag matches at Mania, last year's Mania match for the tag titles, holy shit, I'm tired. Was okay. It was just to get Becky back, but this year's is actually interesting for me. And this just kind of, I don't even know what the word is that I'm looking for, but it just ruined the entire match that wasn't even a match. And I mean, my levels of hypeness that want to see the match at Mania is still the same.
Yet another tag match where Nia Jax and Lash Legend decide to go, hey, checks watch, It's been 30 seconds into this match. Let's go ruin it. That's basically how this entire thing has gone. In fact, this shit was shorter than a speed match. And that's saying something because NXT has full-blown shown that those things are supposed to be 5 minutes or less. And a regular speed match was still longer than this, which is highly unfortunate.
All right, the Andre Giant Battle Royal, which they've been doing it on the SmackDown before WrestleMania the last I don't know how long. I know it was at SmackDown last year. So they played a really heartwarming video package for Royce Keys earlier on SmackDown. And then they announced he's going to be in the Andre Giant Battle Royal. And I thought, great. They're pretty much telling us that he's going to win. I don't have a problem with that. Because I'm going into this hoping that Royce Keys is going to win because this video package was really emotional. They told his story and makes you care for him, so you want to see him win, right? And not only that, but when we come back from commercials, everyone is already in the ring. We got guys from AAA, we got guys from NXT, we got guys from the main roster. Royce Keys gets his entrance. That's the one that they play before the match. Okay, boom, perfect. This is the guy that we want to cheer for. And then we see Joe Hendry. What the hell? The place kind of pops for Joe Hendry. That was unexpected. You also had Talatanga on there. So you can already assume the last two guys are going to be Royce Keys and Talatanga. That's exactly what happened. So I like this because everything that they did just made sense. You can say it was predictable or whatever, but they did the right thing here. Royce Keys won. And I mean, what a great way for his second week on SmackDown after his debut. He won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. I thought this was also another thing that I liked from the show. I thought this was great.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably one of two things on this show that didn't piss me off. This is the one thing where I'll say that, because I mean, everything else tonight, the booking has been so stupid or inconsequential, meaning that, like, no matter who won, who gave a fuck? It didn't matter. That's how all the booking tonight has gone. This is the one thing where I'm like, it's completely telegraphed, but it's the only thing that, like, I'm like, makes absolute sense. I don't care that you told me he's going to win an hour earlier. I basically figured that anyway. He's new to the roster. You want to make a big deal out of him. Give him some steam. Make sure he's got momentum. Give him credibility with the audience. You have him win a simple battle royal. Sometimes predictable is good. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. There's nothing wrong with going new guy, big guy. Let's tell the power story versus the height and power advantage. Watch him overcome. Feel good moment. Pose with the trophy. We just made a star. Done.
Yeah, this was match of the night because I mean it's a battle royal and almost all of the Andre the Giant battle royal memorial matches are great. Almost all of them. I feel like there's like one or two that I didn't really like. But yeah, Royce Keys was definitely the right decision to. If I were to have to pick another one, which I did, it would have to be Ray Phoenix because he was going off in this match, and I would have liked to see him win it as well. And I feel like they should start doing something with the Andre the Giant Battle Royal matches. Like if you win it, you instantly get a shot at the mid card title in your on your brand. I feel like that would do a lot because all you really get is the achievement of winning the battle royal and you don't get anything after that. I mean, Carmelo, yeah, he did get kind of a push, but he had the stupid gimmick where he had the Andre's head chain thing, which was stupid as hell. But yeah, I could see Royce facing the winner of Sammy versus Trick if Carmelo doesn't go after them. which I'm not even gonna get into that, but I could see him going after the U.S. title very soon.
Yes, there was that stupid chain, but at the same time, look at how Carmelo Hayes has been within the last year since he won the same battle royal that Royce Keys just won. Did it do much at WrestleMania 39, like right before that for Bobby Lashley? Absolutely not. He did not need to win that whatsoever. Carmelo Hayes within the last year, on the other hand, it's done quite a bit for him. And here we are, Royce Keys, second actual match that he's been in, technically. Third, if you count the Royal Rumble. And here you are, giving him the win in that over Tala Tonga and over a bunch of guys who overall have won massive pieces of gold as well. Ray Phoenix with, I believe, the tag titles at one point. No, I'm incorrect on that. I was thinking of Dragon Lee. But still, Ilya Dragunov was in there doing his thing, like beating down Tala Tonga. So, and he's held the United States title. So clearly, there might be something to this. So Royce Keys winning it worked, and honestly, this was the only thing on the damn show that I absolutely loved because, yes, it was predictable, but at the same time, it worked.
Yeah, and I can already see a couple feuds coming out of this for Royce Keys. Royce Keys eliminated Aleister Black, who was doing really good in the Battle Royal. I think Aleister Black got the most eliminations out of everyone. Then he gets eliminated by Royce Keys, so I think that's going to come back and bite Royce Keys in the ass at some point, which I'm down to see too. All right, you guys, let's go to the final segment of the show. Cody Rhodes comes out to a very, very low pop. Like, the people aren't popping for his music at all anymore. They're not singing as loud anymore. It's kind of crazy. Cody was doing his best to get them hyped up, and they were just not having it. You know, he grabs the mic. He tries to do the super energetic promo. So, Las Vegas, ready for WrestleMania. What do you want to... Nothing, bro. They're just not having it. And I don't even remember what Cody said, to be honest. He talked for like 2-3 minutes, and then he got interrupted by CM Punk, out of all people, who CM Punk shows up wearing a suit. And I thought, what the fuck? This is weird. CM Punk wearing a suit on WWE TV. What fucking world are we living in, right? But then I remembered that they're getting ready for the Hall of Fame, so okay, that makes sense. But yeah, man, you know, CM Punk just pretty much try to give Cody a pep talk, like, you got this, you can do it type thing. Then Cody Rhodes came back and was like, yeah, we go way back, and, you know, your main events in WrestleMania were both champions. Look at us now, you know. They had a nice, good moment. Cody said, my dad would have been proud. Cody gets teary-eyed. Cody crybaby for life. They hug it out. And that's it. We go off air. A lot of people were not happy about this ending of SmackDown. It's the season for Hall of Fame and good feel speeches, I guess. I guess they're just in that mood. That was the vibe. But yeah, I didn't really care too much for it.
Yeah. What do you really say, right? I love both of these guys. I mean, Punk is my GOAT for the men's division of all time. He's my favorite wrestler of all time, men's wise. Charlotte, obviously female. But when it comes down to it, like, they have history. They're both champions. They were both former AEW guys. They're both faces of the company. They're both in main events. There's a lot of parallels here. Was this kind of a pat on the back segment? Yeah. But at the same time, I think they're setting up a feud between the two of them. I think this is the start of that. And I'll tell you why. In one of the interviews this week, in fact, one I watched today that came out yesterday, and I think it might have been maybe when Punk was on Club Shay or one of the other three I watched, but he said, I've had feuds with all these guys, this, that, and the third. He goes, I'd really like to finally have get in the ring and have a match with a very dear friend of mine, Cody Rhodes. He said that in an interview that went out yesterday or today that I watched today. He name dropped wanting to have a feud with Cody. I could see that. I could see it being a friendly competition, maybe, going into the whole Night of Champions thing where the champions verse each other, or Crown Jewel or some bullshit. Either way, I'm fine with this. Did it end very abruptly and kind of, blue ball in the audience? Yeah. Could we have had a part of, I think the way this should have ended was Randy and McAfee come in there and try to jump the both of them, and then Cody and Punk fight off both of them together, and the champions stand tall because they're both main eventing both nights. And I think it would have been a cool visual to have both main champions raise the titles together while standing tall over the two guys that have been shitting all over them and the company. That's what should have happened. But then again, Punk's in a nice suit. But also, the show ends at like 11. You could have just had him come out in street clothes, then change into his suit. The Hall of Fame's an hour later. So I understand why people are mad. But I also, call me sappy, I like when, I see stuff like this we don't get to see all the time. The two top guys sharing a moment. I kind of like that. It's nice to see sometimes. But I do think, I hope we get a fucking draft after Mania, because I'm telling you right now, I need Cody to go back to Raw. I think SmackDown has wasted his fucking time. It is a slog. He is the only decent thing on the show 90% of the time. And I think he's more Raw coded. I think they only put him on SmackDown because they knew it was going to need somebody. And they were like, well, the only way we get people to tune into SmackDown is we put Cody over there. Let Randy take the title, scrap the whole tag match at Backlash with Jelly Roll and McAfee, and just let Cody go to Raw. Let Randy become the cool heel face of SmackDown. Please get Cody off of SmackDown. I'm begging you.
I popped big whenever Punk came out. I wasn't expecting it whatsoever. I don't think anyone was, but to me, it felt like hey, I'm going against someone that you have a lot of history with, and so do I. And you're getting in the ring with someone I have a lot of history with, and so do you. But I know him better in the ring, and the person I'm going against better in the ring too. So I'll give you advice on what, not advice, but words of encouragement. And Cody gives the same back to Punk because they're friends. Cody even has to ask, hey, if I hug you, are you going to kick me in the balls or something like that? No. Because you can tell, because I'm pretty sure it was the promo before last year's Rumble. He said, Cody, I'm your friend. If I were going to stab you anywhere, it wouldn't be in the back because I'm your friend. It would be in the front. And he stabbed Roman in the back a couple days later on the SmackDown after. So you can tell that's how you can tell that Cody and Punk are actually friends. I'm so fucking tired. I don't see Punk doing anything like that to Cody, and I just enjoyed this segment all around.
I enjoyed it. My problem is I watched the kickoff show before this. And here's my thing. The show ended the exact same way that CM Punk's entire thing on the kickoff show was, which goes as follows. Hey, this is not about me. It's about the crowd. None of this happens without you. And yes, Toxic did pop pretty hard for Punk coming out. Punk literally said on the kickoff show that he was going to show up on SmackDown. So I knew that he was going to show up on SmackDown, unfortunately. But still, the fact that that's how it ends, I'm with Blood on this. I would have loved to have it where Randy Orton and Pat McAfee just came out, decided to attack him. But then again, they both are in suits. It was literally brought up that CM Punk is in a full-blown suit and tie. Cody Rhodes is in a full-blown suit and bow tie. So nothing was going to come of that, unfortunately. You're muted.
All right, guys. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Snug Wrestling. This was apparently, I mean, you wouldn't know it, the go home episode for SmackDown for WrestleMania 42, which goes live tomorrow. I am excited. When it comes down to it, guys, thank you so much for kicking it with us. As always, you've been with us all week since Tuesday, and you will be with us hopefully tomorrow and Sunday after both nights of Mania go off the air for our live post-show reviews and reactions. And there will be segment-to-segment content reactions as well on the channels that you can look forward to so you can react in real time with us. When it comes down to it, make sure that when you are trying to find out when we are going live, we will be live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram tomorrow after night one. Same on Sunday. If you do miss it, the episodes will be on Apple and Spotify and fully uploaded to YouTube as well. Please comment. Please enjoy. Please come hang out with us. And let's talk about WrestleMania 42. When it comes down to it, guys, as always, if you want to kick it with us during the regular weekly scheduled shows, that's Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, where we go live with all those post-show reviews on all those platforms I just mentioned. And on Thursdays, we do one-on-ones on TikTok Live, where myself, Mr. Blood, and the head of Snug Wrestling, Edgar, do 1 hour where we do live, random, or, well, relevant wrestling topics and answer your fan questions live. But next Thursday, we will have a special guest that we are keeping a little close to the vest. And until next time, guys, stay safe, stay savage, stay snug. Head on over to our teepublic.com, teepublic.com/snug wrestling for Snug Wrestling merch and support your favorite wrestling podcast. We're all tired. It was a long, boring-ass show. Until next time, stay safe, stay savage, stay snug. Boys, that was one time for the one time. Let's give them a tired
Four
Four letters.
One
One
word.
word.
Yeah.
Yeet.